Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to South Bend's virtual showcase of schools, Edison Middle School edition. My name is Michael Budzinski, and I am the proud principal of Edison Middle School. Edison, if you don't know, is a beautiful facility. Has two gymnasiums, multiple science labs, a music wing, an auditorium, baseball, softball fields, track and field, and then also access to the South Bend Parks Department tennis courts. Edison is located in a very peaceful neighborhood tucked away within Edison and Ironwood roads. To tell you a little bit about myself, I began my first experience at Edison was about 11 years ago. I began my administrative career there as an interim assistant principal, and it was only for 1 year. Prior to that, I was a curriculum leader at Measle Elementary and a teacher at Pearly Elementary. I only knew elementary and had no intention of going to middle school. I was not on my list of things to do. However, I knew I wanted to be a principal, and so I applied and I began at Edison. And that was a very, very good move for me. Very happy experience. Experienced a lot in that year. I enjoyed everything about it. From there, I left Edison after only a year. Became principal at Measle. I was there for 5 years and was very happy at Measle. Great community, staff and teachers, parents and students, and I began looking for a change. I started thinking about my time at Edison and my middle school experience that I had there. So I took a shot and I applied for middle school position, not knowing where it was going to be. And fortunately and surprisingly enough, I was offered a principal position at Edison Middle School, and I was ecstatic. Because what I remembered about Edison from my 1 year there was an amazing team, effective, passionate, collaborative teachers and staff. There was a spirit of collaboration that had rung through the halls at Edison. So I was excited to return, and when I did return, that is just what we have continued to develop at our school within the past, 5 years now, 5 years that I've been at Edison. In addition to lesson planning and providing quality instruction for our students every day, our teachers meet regularly throughout the week with one another, and they make instructional decisions based on student data. We have a team comprised of our social worker and our school counselor and school psychologist and our school nurse that meet regularly on Fridays to discuss and plan for how to support our students that are most in need. Additionally, we've developed community partnerships with, but not limited to, the University of Notre Dame, Real Services Foster Grandparents Program, and 100 Black Men of Greater South Bend. Overall, our entire team at Edison daily does whatever it takes for the benefit of our students. And that is what I am most proud about, and I want to put forth and let people know about our school. For the next 20 minutes or so, maybe shorter, we will introduce to you just a few members of our awesome team who will share a bit about themselves and our school. We're going to go ahead and continue next with Ms. Brazier, who is our Edison Assistant Principal. She's going to share a little bit about some programming and after-school programs that we have at Edison. Ms. Brazier? Thank you.
Mr. Bell? Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Ms. Marlena Brazier, the Assistant Principal at Edison Middle School, and I'm going to give you some examples of some awesome programs we have after school. These programs are designed to explore our students' imagination and advance their creativity. One club that we have is led by our wonderful art teacher, Molly White. She's in charge of the jewelry club. I wanted to bring some samples of jewelry, but the kids loved them so much they took them home. This club teaches students how to create jewelry using materials such as beads, fabrics, wires, paper, and clay. They're able to create bracelets, earrings, and necklaces. So that's been an awesome program. Another club that we have is the Comic Club. This teaches students how to draw dynamic figures in classic comic book style as well as Japanese style of manga. Students will develop their own comic characters and learn how to create visual narratives. By the way, all of these clubs are held after school. I do have some samples of our painting club. It's also run by the art teacher. This club teaches students how to paint with watercolors, acrylic paint, and they're able to create multiple pieces on paper as well as on stretched canvases. Here are a couple of our students' work. Our school has also started a musical. One of the first musicals we had was The Wiz Jr. We had got it started in the spring, but to unfortunate events, it had to be postponed. The Wiz Jr. Was based on the original Tony Award-winning musical The Wiz, starring Diana Ross and Michael Jackson. We had cast our students as Annem, Dorothy, the Lion, Tin Man, and those wonderful sarcastic crows. Hopefully we'll get another chance to have another musical. We have our music teacher working on different things this year. One of the things she's working on is our talent show. We had our first talent show a couple of years ago where students who never spoke before to other students were singing. They were singing and dancing and telling jokes and doing drama. These students showed their talent in front of all of their classmates, in front of the entire school. It was awesome. A couple other things that we have. We have a TV studio. It is called EMTV, MTV. This is where our students are doing morning announcements. They're also doing the news, events, sports, trivia, drawings, along with prizes. These students, we have adult supervision, but the students are the ones who are writing the scripts. They are behind the cameras. They're behind the desk. So they're working the entire station. It's pretty awesome. Another thing we have is Spirit Week. We have maybe a couple of weeks out the year where we do Spirit Week, Crazy Hair Day, mismatched socks. We wear our Edison gear. You can purchase these. And sometimes those are done before a test or even for our pep assembly. We have those just to get the kids hyped up and energized for iLearn. One more thing that we have, or another thing that we have, is our student council. Our student council is led by one of the adults in our building. And they're here to improve our school and make it a better place. They're encouraged to be leaders of the school and to exercise the steps to help our school be an inspiring place for everyone in it. They help out with food drives, they help out with dress down days, and that money goes towards to support the school. So those are just a few of the things that we have at our school. It's an amazing place, it's family oriented, and I love it. The next person on our agenda is the wonderful, lovely Mr. Aaron Goldstein.
Hi, like Ms. Brazier said, my name is Aaron Goldstein. I am what's called the Digital Integration Specialist for Edison. And what that essentially means is I get to deal with a lot of the technology and how it's integrated in the classrooms within Edison. Pretty much, I go through Dave's pretty much going through to every teacher, asking if they have any questions about technology, and help them better understand how to put technology into their classrooms to make it better for the students, as well as make it a little bit easier for collaboration. But that's just one of my many hats that I wear at Edison. I'd have to say, in the time that I've been there, it is by far one of the best places I've worked. Our teachers are willing to take on any challenges that's put forth. And one of the amazing things about them is they pick up things really quickly. So when I'm instructing them on a new piece of technology, 90% of the time, all of my teachers pick it up very quickly, and I don't really have to worry about in-depth troubleshooting issues with them. They seem to get it right away. And that's just a testament to their ability and the willingness of our teachers to go above and beyond. And so that's why I love Edison and why I consider it part of my family now. And so the next person I'd like to introduce is Miss Sarah Sweet.
Thanks, Aaron. Oh. Caught. All right. My name is Sarah Sweet. I am currently a science teacher here at Edison, but I'm also a parent at Edison. So I was asked to explain why Edison is special to me. And the only thing that kept popping up and coming into my head was family, a sense of community and belonging that I actually didn't have since we moved to Indiana. So my kids, I kept bouncing them from different schools to school systems, and I'll let you take a guess which two other school systems they were, but I wasn't a fan. They were stuffy, they lacked empathy, and we just didn't feel like we belonged. So the moment I entered Edison and South Bend schools, I knew I was home. I knew that this is where I needed to be and this is where my kids should be. Each of these people up here that you've already seen and Mr. McNeil that you're about to see have really stepped up. They've stepped up for me, they've stepped up for my children, and I actually begged to come teach in South Bend schools. So my very first encounter is with somebody who's coming up, Mr. McNeil. So I walk in this building in the middle of houses, just encompassed in this home-like feeling. But I walk in and Mr. McNeil, he walks right up to me and my daughter, and he's like, well, what sport do you like to play? What sport do you like? And in her words, she said that she wasn't very good at sports. And he told her it didn't matter. As long as she wanted, she put forth the effort, she tried, they'd teach her. And her, Mr. McNeil, all of our staff there, they've worked hard to allow her just to come to practice. They've worked hard to encourage her to learn how to play in games and start coming to games. She has horrible stage fright. And she actually was in the Wiz, and when we were doing it, and she really came in and she was encouraged, the coaches, everybody encouraged her, my fellow colleagues, to try their best. And this is what they do with students. It's not about winning, although they're having a really good season this year. It's about showing up and trying. And with the coaches' enthusiasm and the children and the students' enthusiasm, it really, you can see I could see my daughter being excited and enthusiastic while being here. I have talked about one of my kids at Edison. And she's not the most academically inclined unless she wants to be. And the teachers have really helped encourage her more and more to try. But I also have a son that I sent to Edison. He was encouraged to go to another school, but I knew the teachers here at Edison would encourage him and push him academically. He's not the greatest at sports, but Mr. McNeil is still working with him. But these group of teachers, they have encouraged him, pushed him, and challenged him more than he's ever been pushed or challenged before. They are willing to go to the different levels that the students need. And I truly appreciate that as a parent and as a colleague. Like I said, I wasn't always a teacher at Edison. The very first encounter other than Mr. McNeil that I had was parent-teacher conferences. I, like Mr. Budd, am elementary. Elementary school is where I was. But it was March at parent-teacher conferences, and I walked into probably the most energized building in March I've ever seen. There was artwork up. The staff were so enthusiastic, saying goodbye to the children, making sure that they still don't forget you have this, don't forget you have that. They knew pretty much all of them by name, even if they didn't still have them. It was very, very encouraging. And not only that, but when we went to the concerts, I was expecting, we just started, I've heard my child play, and it was phenomenal. It was not what I had expected at all within this music program. So my kids, again, coming to South Bend, have been given more opportunities than they would in most places. And like I said, after March, I started begging Mr. Budd to work at his school. And I've had the privilege, again, with working with some of the most amazing teachers I've ever worked with in my career. And I can't just say that. Miss Brazier and Mr. Budd have really created a sense of community in the building among just not only the staff, but the students. You can feel the energy, you can feel the community when you walk in. Even during a pandemic, I felt that I belonged at this school. And I felt so do my children. They're, again, the staff and how hard everybody works during this to take the time out to, my child has an issue with something, they email, they respond back, they'll hop on a random Google Meet, and I appreciate that. I feel a belonging. I mean, without Ms. Brazier, I don't think that my daughter would be where she is. She got her involved with GE Girls. She got, there's other science teachers, they have the ND Girls in Science. She saw this, she took the opportunity to realize, I can do this too. And again, which is why she auditioned for the Wiz, which I am so grateful. But there are many ways to get involved. Like I said, I'm the science teacher, not just sports, but academics. And there are two different types of STEM projects that we have here at Edison. Edison offers fluid power and robotics, which if you're not familiar with fluid power, it's a 7th and 8th graders, and it's a program where students get to create and use their imagination and take wood pieces and create. So there's a syringe, and you can either use air or you can use liquid, usually it's water, and your goal is to take an object and push it as far as you can with just this little amount. And you have to build with this. And then robotics is education and technology. It's a whole new level. Students can be creative. You're using your imagination and with technology. They learn the programs, they're building robots and with pieces, with no real instruction. These STEM projects that they're given right now will be helping them later in the workforce. What I like about Edison is you don't have to be the best at something as long as you put forth the effort in what you're doing, and you're able to have so many more opportunities than I feel my children would have, and I feel like myself in other schools and other school districts. So why is Edison special to me? Because it's family. It's a community where everybody belongs. And again, I get to introduce Mr. McNeil, who created my sense of community, and I am honored to be in the same room with everybody who's in here. I'm gonna cry now. Thanks, Mr. McNeil.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sean McNeil. Better known to everybody walking around the schools at Edison. The halls at Edison, Mr. Mac, for short. I have various roles at Edison. My primary role, I'm the security guard at Edison. I'm also a coach of 4 different sports at Edison. And I'm also a parent of an Edison student. My daughter, this is her first year at Edison. She's in 8th grade now, and she's kind of sad, like, this will be her only year getting to go to Edison, because she loves the environment of Edison, and, like, most everybody else that has been up here has already said, it's such a family environment, very much so. One thing she loves about Edison is how easy it is to navigate around Edison. Our classes are very easy to find. We have our 4-minute passing period, so classes are very short to get to. Our building is very clean. Our cafeteria is very clean. Our sporting facilities are some of the best in the city. And like I said, another role I get to play at Edison. I'm the boys basketball coach. I'm the boys track coach. I'm the assistant coach for girls basketball, and I'm also assistant coach for our football team. One thing I like to tell a lot of my athletes is we always put that student in front of the athlete, and I emphasize that to the highest. And I'm very high on academics. Over the past years, my basketball team has had some of the highest GPAs in the building. Last year, one of my best basketball players, he had the highest GPA in the building. He's playing JV basketball for Adams right now. Another thing I like to say about sports, like Miss Sweet was saying, I told her daughter, it doesn't matter if you're good or not. If you come out and work hard, we'll teach you how to be better. I'm going to use that as an example because I have a girl that's throwing shot put for Adams right now. Never stepped on a track in her life, never picked up a shot put in her life. Now this girl, she has scholarships coming from everywhere. And her mom thanks me all the time for that. She's like, if you never brought her out here and introduced her to something new, this would never happen. She wouldn't get to go to college and have all these offers to go to college. So that's something I bring forward to Edison. We're a bridge to high school, especially as athletes. I like to help kids get better so they can get these scholarship offers. I just want to end this and say, charge up. That's our battle cry for all our athletics. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McNeil. Thank you, Ms. Brazier, Mr. Goldstein, Ms. Sweet, as well. I think can I scroll using this? We're getting close to the end of our time, and I think we did have one question that was asked was, I think why does Edison stand out, or why would what does Edison have that other middle schools may not have? If I understand your question, why would you send your child to Edison? So before I begin answering that question, I also want to just state that I don't think you go wrong with, I know you can't go wrong with any middle school here in South Bend. All my colleagues have wonderful programs at each one of their buildings. So I don't think you would make a mistake going to any middle school here in South Bend. But I will say, if you were listening throughout today's presentation, one theme is community. And that is something that although Ms. Brazier and I set the tone to have a positive community in our building, we don't make that just happen. That happens with our teachers and our staff and our students and our parents also taking that charge and providing that for everybody in our building. But we do try to have a positive and encouraging community within our building. So that is one strong suit of Edison. And you heard Mr. McNeil and Ms. Sweet, actually also Mr. Goldstein as well, mentioned a couple of times that our emphasis is also on the academics. And so we have other programs in our building. We have clubs and we have sports, but we also want our children to succeed and achieve. And we do what we can to help them get to that point. Ms. Brazier, I think she might have mentioned the tutoring opportunities that we have in our building as well. And because of our collaborative teams that we have in place, we have a lot of people looking out for our children to figure out how to get them to the next level. So those two things, if you were going to select Edison or want to learn more about, we have a positive community, a collaborative spirit, and then also everything we can do to assist our students to achieve their goals. I don't know if we have any other questions at this time, but I do want to, I know we have other middle schools coming up right after us, but let's keep this conversation going. So if you're viewing this presentation right now and we didn't get to your question or you didn't ask a question, please get in touch with us at our school. You can email me at mbudzinski@sb.school. You can also give us a call in our main office at 393-4400. If you're watching this on a recording, please reach out to us if you have any questions and like to learn more about Edison.